This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello and welcome to Pulse of Africa News. I am Samia Mohammed with the latest. First, our top stories for today. Ghanaian president urges reparations for slave trade and colonization. The East African community to champion unified Africa resource mobilization. Italian-based Eni signs $1.35 billion Algerian oil and gas deal. Now, the news in detail. Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama on Monday called for reparations from nations that undertook the transatlantic slave trade and colonization of Africa, emphasizing the need to restore the continent's full human dignity. Mahama, also serving as the African Union champion for reparatory justice for Africans and people for African descent, made the calls in his progress report at the 7th Mid-Year Coordination Meeting of the AU held in Malabo, the capital of Equatorial Guinea. He urged the global community to stand with Africa in its quest for a just and equitable world. Africa's demand for reparative justice is no longer a mere murmur. It's a unified demand grounded in historical truths, moral clarity, and our unwavering commitment to dignity, Mahama said, according to the release on his official social media page. Cameroon will hold presidential election October 12, according to a decree signed by President Paul Biya. Biya, who is 92 years old, has announced plans to run for an 8th term in this year's election. Biya won with 71.28% of the vote in the 2018 elections, according to official results. Now that the date has been set, political parties are mobilizing. Several opposition figures have declared their intention to run, including Maurice Kamto of the Cameroon Renaissance Movement, who was the runner-up in 2018. Joshua Osei of the Social Democratic Front, Lawyer Akere Muna, and Kraba Libi of the Cameroon Party for National Reconciliation. The East African community is advocating for a unified, continent-wide resource mobilization strategy to accelerate Africa's development agenda, according to the Secretary General. EAC Secretary General Veronica M. Duva called for this unified strategy after assuming leadership of the COMESA EAC SADC tripartite task force, signaling a new push for integrated economic growth across the continent. Speaking at a high-level roundtable convened by the African Union Development Agency, NEPAD, in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, she emphasized the urgent need to replace fragmented efforts with a harmonized approach. Zambia has officially deposited its instrument of ratification for the World Trade Organization's agreement on fisheries subsidies, becoming the 105th member to do so. The significant step brings the global community closer to implementing the landmark agreement, with only 6 more ratifications needed for it to enter into force. The WTO agreement on fisheries subsidies, adopted at the 12th Ministerial Conference on June 17, 2022, marks a major step forward for ocean sustainability by prohibiting harmful fisheries subsidies, which are a key factor in the widespread depletion of the world's fish stocks. In other news, with only 5 years to go, nearly 35% of the targets of the Sustainable Development Goals are on track, while nearly half are stalling and 18% have regressed, according to a UN report released on Monday. In the past decade, since the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development was adopted, notable global achievements have been made in health, education, energy, and digital connectivity, said the Sustainable Development Goals Report 2025. Significant progress has been made in efforts to prevent HIV, AIDS, and malaria, expand access to schools for children and youth, and conserve key ecosystems, among many other areas. However, the pace of change remains insufficient to meet the SDGs by 2030. The Security Council on Monday adopted 2 separate resolutions to extend the mandates of the UN missions in Haiti and Yemen. Resolution 2785 extends the mandate of the UN Integrated Office in Haiti for 6.5 months until January 31, 2026. The Council intends to review the UN Secretary General's February 2025 recommendations on the UN's role in Haiti, including establishing a support office for the multinational police force. Resolution 2786 extends for 6.5 months the mandate of the UN mission to support the Hadouya Agreement until January 28, 2026. The Council plans to review UNMHA's mandate, assess its ability, and consider gating and adjusting it for efficiency, cost reduction, or in response to developments like nationwide ceasefire.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here. only on the Pulse of Africa channel, all the time. Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Now to business news. Mozambique has created the necessary conditions for the resumption of Total Energies' $20 billion liquefied natural gas project in the country. The country's energy minister was quoted as saying by Portuguese news agency Lusa on Monday. Total Energies, which halted construction in 2021 after an Islamic State-linked insurgency attack threatened its Afungi site in the north of Mozambique, has said it wants to resume development this summer. Total Energy CEO Patrick Poyan met with Mozambique President Daniel Chapo on Thursday to discuss restarting activities after security interventions helped reduce around its base. Italian-based Eni has signed $1.35 billion to commence development in its latest Algeria's oil and gas deal. Algeria's state-owned oil and gas company Sonatrach and the Italian company Eni have signed a production-sharing hydrocarbons contract. The contract covers the exploration and exploitation of the Zamul El Khabir concession area. The region is located in the Birkin Basin, approximately 300 kilometers east of Hasai Masad. The deal with Eni is the latest in a string of high-profile agreements that Sonatrach has announced. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. Now to weather updates. That's all for today. Thank you for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.